ISRO has conducted various kinds of tests and we are not dependent on any other countries. When there is a fighter jets get failed, what happens? To escape module separation, it has to be deployed and how strong the parachutes are in order to test this. Hi guys, welcome to Believers IS Academy. As we all are aware, India is sending astronauts to space in 2027 under the mission Gaganyaan Mission. So under this, to make sure there is in order to make sure safety of astronauts, ISRO has conducted various kinds of tests before the actual launch. Okay. So in this regard, we'll understand what are these tests being done by ISRO one by one. Okay. So first we'll understand what is this Gaganyaan program. So Gaganyaan program where astronauts are going to space, okay, where they'll be going till lower Earth orbit, which will be around 400 kilometers from the Earth's surface, and for approximately for 3 days, okay, and safely enter. And it is, you have to understand, it is demonstrated indigenous. It is indigenous where it is completely ISRO and we are not dependent on any other countries. So here it is completely indigenous and human. Since human are going, we call it as indigenous human space flight. Okay. So in order to understand this, we'll understand what are the safety measures, what are the safety tests has been done by ISRO. So here the first and foremost thing is pad abort test. Now what is this pad abort test? See, even before the launch of this, during the launch pad itself, if there is any failure, see, this is launch pad. Basically what happens, this is your launch pad. If there is any safety issues or if there is any, basically what, if any mishap happens in this place, what in order to make sure there is a safety of astronauts, they have conducted this pad abort system where the basically what capsule, okay, if this is your rocket. Now, if you see this is your rocket, this is a capsule. This is where all the astronauts will be. So, if there is any disaster here, this capsule will be easily ejected. Like you see, like you see in fighter jets also. When there is a fighter jets get failed, what happens? Pilot will automatically ejected like this only. This complete module will get ejected from this. Okay. So here, this is the first test what they have done. During the launch, even the flight has not taken it, still it is being launched. Here, if there is any failure, astronauts can easily be ejected from here. So now next test is crew escape system, emergency rescue system that verifies escape motors, capsule separation and safe descent. So after this, after escape also, there should be, make sure there is safe descent of this particular capsule. Even this is, I'm not talking, we are basically what we are talking, even before the launch of this rocket itself, before the launch only, if they have any problems, they can be easily ejected. Okay, this is the first test what they are doing. Now the second test is in-flight abort, which means after taking off, if there is any problem in this, even then also they should be able to eject. For this TVLD test vehicle, okay, test vehicle mission this was successful. Okay, here what they do, first the test aborted demonstration, all the objectives, screw escape, module separation, parachute deployed. So everything was tested here in this, what do you say, in this particular mission where it is everything, like I said, crew escape, module separation, parachute deployment and even sea recovery. Everything was a complete demonstration was done. And another, this similar kind of demonstration is planned. This is of high pressure, where there is high pressure in the atmosphere. From there, this is basically what it is planned. Okay. So this is, and safe return to Earth. Now the next phase is safe return to Earth. Here we are talking about integrated airdrop system. So here what they did, since module will be the capsule, basically the capsule basically means what is capsule? Capsule is this, the upper part of the rocket. So since this upper part of rocket is getting dropped from the higher atmospheres, so it will be in huge speed. So now in order to make sure there is a demonstration for for a demonstration, what they did is they took naval helicopter, okay, the naval helicopter. From there, this capsule was basically dropped from the upper atmosphere. From there, it was dropped here. The helicopter released the crew module, dropped from altitude. Okay, parachute was deployed. Okay, and splashed down, which is touched down on the ocean, and it was recovered by naval vessels. Okay, this test was also done. Okay, and next test what we had done is controlled descent system. This here basically what we tested, what parachute qualifications. Parachute, how the parachute has to be deployed and how strong the parachutes are. In order to test this, we had conducted this test. This is what we call as integrated main parachute airdrop test, or we call it as IMAT test. Okay, in this test, what happened here basically what pilot initial deployment sequence. This is what we call as initial deployment, where it is called as pilot. The first parachute will deploy. After this, the second dragger parachute deployed. This will basically what it will stabilize the capsule. And the third final, the main, it was where these three parachutes, the final parachute was deployed, and these three parachutes, which basically what it will stabilize the capsule. Okay, and ultimately it will splash down, which is splash down. Okay, so this is all the test which was conducted in order to make sure there is, parachute, how the parachute basically works when the basically astronauts will descend. Okay, now this is what we call as crew module uprighting test. So basically what happens when basically this capsule gets dropped, there is a chances that it might get tilted also, like this is there. This thing might be tilted, or it might go like this, because of sea waves. Since it is getting dropped on the ocean, because of sea waves, it can, maybe imbalance. It can face imbalance, right? So if it face imbalance, what are the measures? What at that time, what we have to do? Those kinds of measures were taken under this crew module upright system. In this, high pressure gas will inflated floating bags. Okay, these are the bags. What are these bags? High pressure inflated flotation bags. These bags will deploy automatically when there is misbalance of this capsule. Okay, now after this, automatically it will turn capsule upright after splashdown, preventing capsizing. Okay, so automatically it will apply this, and umbilical separation test. So here what happens? Here validates clean disconnects of electric and data links between crew module and survival. So basically what and all the cable connection, okay, wire connections will be there initially during the lift off. When they descend, all that cable will be disconnected. It will get automatically disconnected before re-entries. Okay, this is what we call as umbilical separation test basically. Okay, now these two tests was done basically very recently, which means yesterday or the day before yesterday, these tests were basically happened. Okay, and next is full mission validation is one is. Now, next step what they'll do is they'll test something called as G1 test. Under this G1 test, the test spacecraft performance, re-entry, landing, everything will be done. It's like a rehearsal. The full entire process will be done without any astronauts. There will be no astronauts, no model, no dummy also. There is complete, it's a basically what? Technical, drill, we can say is drill. Okay, now here, what we'll do, we'll carry Vyom Mitra, a humanoid robot with test like human-like, it is a robot, human-like condition mission, where it is tested through a module called as Vyom Mitra, humanoid robot, and before the lift-off, final test, again the final test will be done. Okay, so this is what we call as SOLVE platform. Orbital launch vehicle experiment validates the parachute recovery descent mechanism, everything before the orbital mission. Now this orbital progression, what it will do, as I told you, it will basically full rehearsal will be done of that particular test. Okay, this is basically what we have, this is all the test what we are done in order to make sure there is a safe return of astronauts after conducting the experiments, after reaching the air, space. So this is all about, these are the tests which was conducted, and these are very recently conducted. These two tests, as I told you, these two tests was recently conducted. Okay, and I hope this topic is I hope you like this topic. Okay, and thank you so much.